welcome to my YouTube channel. Yay! Happy New Month! Yeah, Happy New Month, everybody. Like I said earlier, this month we are going to be discussing around self perception. Yes, we are talking about self perception. Yeah, we get it now. Yeah, don't mind me. Don't mind me at all. Self perception, as it is always very important in life. And one thing about self perception is you cannot exhaust it. You always have to review your self perception till death and everything like that. It's like you're on the altar, you the spouse, you get till death do us part. That's what you're telling self perception, like self perception till death do us part. Anyway, don't mind me. When we are talking about self perception, have you ever find yourself in a position where you walked into a place and you have to tell people about yourself, and people began to ask you, who are you, what do you do, and things like that. And you began to say so many things about yourself, and you just get to a junction where you have to tell them who you are, and you just don't have enough words to say. Yeah, you can relate. I know you can relate. Or probably you found yourself in a situation in life where you feel like you are not understood. You just felt so lonely. You felt nobody understood you. I feel you're always having issues with everybody around you. You're like, what's it? Why is this? Why is that? Why is that this person is always doing this to me? That okay, calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. And I've seen so many situations or so many certain things that happen to you that tend to just throw back the question at you, like, who are you? Yes, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I get to talk a lot about self concept on my video channel a lot, because I know that self concept is actually very important when it comes to an individual evolving in life. I've seen situations where I find myself in certain things where I constantly ask myself, like, who are you? Like, I ask myself, Rema, who are you? What do you want the world to see you? How do you want the world around you to interpret you? How do you want people to see you? I've actually found myself in situations where it wasn't palatable for me, and I felt like this is not who I want to be. This is not how I want to be associated with, or how I want to be related with. And I've also found myself in a situation whereby, because I was able to really align myself, align my thoughts, or probably give myself a strong sense of self perception about myself, I found myself in the right places. I just feel like, yes, this is where I need to be and where I want to be. It's cool by me. It's so cool by me. What I'm trying to say is that an individual need to have a good self interpretation about themselves to be able to present themselves to the world around them. The world around you is your environment, your culture, and there's just so many things that is giving people different kind of interpretation about themselves. I mean, the social media is there. The social media, if you don't have an identity, the social media will give you one by the things that you are just giving yourself to one way or the other. If the social media is not giving you a perception or an interpretation of yourself, your tradition will give you, like, your culture. Culture has a way of defining the way people see themselves and the way people should view themselves and certain things about themselves. If culture is not doing that, then environment is doing that. I mean, people find themselves in environment that are tough, especially if you are in this part of the world that is really tough now, and things are really not quite okay like that. It tends to break a lot of people because they don't even have an internal strong sense of self perception about themselves in the first place. So things are not okay, day to day are not okay, like they are not cool right now. Nobody's cool right now. But that's just by the way. I'm just trying to give analysis of what I'm trying to say, that if you don't really have a strong interpretation of who you perceive, who you interpret yourself to be, or how you see yourself, there's tendency that you tend to just fall with life. You tend to have issues with life. You tend to depreciate with life. You tend to have so many things that you need to just really sort out, because you don't have a definite identity of who you are to the world around you. And as time is approaching, as things are changing, as life is evolving, it is very important that you have a strong sense of perception about yourself. Everyone that has been able to evolve in life, become who they are, or probably live the life that they find themselves living at this point in time is because they have a strong sense of perception about it. They have a strong sense of interpretation about who they are. Like they can easily walk up to a room and tell them that this is who I perceive myself, this is who I see myself to be, this is who I want to be, this is the life I want to live, this is what I see myself to be. You have to just imagine it. If you don't imagine it, you have to dream it. If you don't dream it, you have to think it. If you don't think it, you just have to do something to get into the status quo. Who do you see yourself as? If it is where you see yourself that people will see you and people will accept you. Somebody once said a psychological fact, which is very true, is that you teach people the way you want people to treat you, and you teach them by having a definite answer of yourself. If they understand that you know who you are, they will treat you because they know who you are. And that's why you have discussions with certain people, and people will be like, I know you understand what I'm saying, but I just need to emphasize on it because I know you who you are. Why? They know you have a strong sense of perception about yourself. So, what's your strong sense of perception about yourself? Like a lot of people have even decided to do a strong sense of perception based on imitation. They look at the life of people on social media, they look at the life of people like celebrities. So people want to be like Davido, cool. So people want to be like Whiskey, cool. So people are imitating so many people. But it is very, very important that you develop your internal values and standards by yourself, by looking inside yourself, looking at your abilities, your capabilities, and how you want the environment around you to see you. It is more important that you understand that you are unique in your own way, and you need to develop an ideology of yourself in your own way. Until you come to that space where you develop an ideology of yourself in your own way, the world around you may not even see a reason why they should treat you the way you are expecting it, or probably you are demanding it in a wrong way because you don't have a strong sense of perception. They begin to treat you the way you demand it, but you need to define it to demand it. Until you define it, you might not be able to get the world around you to treat you the way you expect them to treat you. So it is very, very important that an individual to really, really build a strong sense of perception about yourself. Guess what? The man that wrote this book, Rick Warren, that wrote a purpose-driven life, that's 40 Days of Purpose-Driven Life, it started with an ideology of defining yourself. You just have to have a strong sense of interpretation of who you are. And one of the reasons he extended the book to 40 days journey is because he wants people to work in the consciousness of accurate definition of how they see themselves. Like, how do you see yourself? When your self perception is attached to material things, is not attached to probably maybe internal values and things like that, you tend to have issues. And there are four major things that have effects on self-perception that seems to have issues on people. Number one is culture. Culture has a strong effect on self-perception. People will tell you, I'm an Igbo person. This is how Igbo people behave. I mean, excuse me, how do Igbo people? Are you Igbo or you are global? I don't understand. Some people tell you, I'm a Yoruba person. This and that. This is how we are. This we are that. We are. Some people will tell you, I'm from so states. This is how I'm decided to behave. Why? Because they have an ideology of self-perception based on their culture, which is literally not supposed to be. And these are one of the things we are still going to be talking about in this series. But what I'm trying to establish here is that it is very important that you, as an individual, have self perception about yourself. And even if you have not been conscious that you should have a self perception about yourself, you need to understand that something is conscious of having a self perception about you. That is correct. Something is conscious about. Is either is your culture, is your environment, is your family background, is your past experiences. Something is just so conscious of having a self perception about it. Something is conscious of interpreting you to the world, interpreting you to people around you, interpreting who you are to everything around you. You just have to be conscious of the fact that you need to be intentional about it in order to determine the things that define you for you, the things that define you for the world, the things that define you to everybody around you. And you have to be intentional around it in such a way that it becomes your consciousness that this is who I am, and this is who I want to be, and this is who I want to be noted by. And that is that on today's series on self perception in this month's series. I would like you guys to look forward to more of our series, as we are going to be touching so many things as regards self-perception and how to develop more self-perception and self-perception problems in the society. In case you are outside there and you feel like, do I even need to have a strong sense of perception based on my background and my past? I am telling you, you need to have one because your past does not define you. If you are still in it, you can still bring it to a past because as long as you are still alive, there's still going to be a past. As long as you are seeing another day, there's still going to be a past yesterday. What I'm trying to say is that it is not too late for you to start thinking in line of building a strong identity and definition of interpretation of who you are to yourself. And the earlier you start being conscious of it, the easier it is for the world around you to understand you. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also don't forget to give us thumbs up. You can drop anything you like to discuss with us on the comment section. I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye bye.